You don't fix your posture because it feels good. You fix it because everyone in the room has already made a judgment about you before you open your mouth, not when you speak. Before. There's a study out of Princeton where people were shown photos of strangers for 1/10 of a second, not even a full blink, and the trait judgments they formed barely changed when given all the time they wanted. 1/10 of a second. Your opening line doesn't matter if you lost them before you took a step. Most guys spend years learning what to say, how to text, when to escalate. None of that touches the problem if your body is already broadcasting the wrong thing. You walk into a room and people have already filed you somewhere. You don't get to appeal it. The trial happened without you. And the sentence that gets filed isn't about how you look. It's about how you occupy space. There's a difference between a man who walks in like he's minimizing the inconvenience of his presence and a man who walks in like he was expected. That difference is legible from 50 feet. You already know this. You've watched someone walk into a room and known before they spoke whether they were worth paying attention to. Your body is making that same argument right now. The question is which argument it's making. Here's what collapsed posture actually communicates, not to you, but to the people reading it. Rounded shoulders and a forward head don't read as casual. They read as someone running a low-grade threat assessment, someone uncertain about whether they belong. Women in particular are wired to notice this because for most of human history, reading male composure accurately had real consequences. A man who looks unsettled signals that something in his environment has unsettled him. That's not attractive, that's not safe, that's not interesting. It's just noise she's already filtered out. Men read it differently. Collapsed posture in a man reads as low status, which, in a group setting, means he gets talked over, gets interrupted, gets treated like someone whose presence is optional. Nobody decides to do this consciously. It just happens. Status gets assigned fast, and it holds. So what does the right posture actually communicate? Not dominance, not aggression. Ease. A body at rest signals a brain that isn't running threat calculations. Shoulders where they're supposed to sit, not pulled back like your military, just not collapsed forward. Chin level, not tucked, that's it. It communicates that nothing in the room has rattled you, which makes you immediately more interesting than the guy next to you who looks slightly rattled. Most guys who make this change report the same thing. People start treating them differently before anything else changes. Eye contact from women they didn't approach. Men who defer slightly in conversation. Bartenders who see them first. None of it is dramatic. All of it compounds. This is the part that's backwards from how most men think about it. You're waiting to feel confident before your body shows it. Confidence doesn't work that way. The body changes first. The feeling follows. Psychologists call it embodied cognition. Your physical state doesn't just reflect your mental state, it produces it. Stand with your body in the configuration of someone who has options, and within about 2 minutes, your brain starts generating the neurochemistry to match. Testosterone up, cortisol down. You're not performing confidence. You're installing the conditions that create it. Now eye contact, because most men are doing this wrong in a specific way they've never been told about. The default for most guys is to look away too fast. Not because they're intimidated, because they were never taught the difference between breaking eye contact and losing. Breaking contact is neutral. Losing is a concession. The distinction is in what triggers the break. If you look away because you chose to, that's fine. If you look away because the other person held a half second longer than you were comfortable with, you just handed them something. They noticed. They may not be able to articulate it, but they filed it. The rule is simple. Hold until you get a reaction, then decide what to do with the reaction. With women, the reaction is usually a smile, a look away with a slight smile, or a neutral holdback. All of those are information. With men in a group, sustained eye contact without aggression signals you're comfortable, which is the whole game. What most men do instead is this scattered scanning pattern, eyes moving around the room, rarely landing anywhere for more than a second, which reads as either nervous or uninterested or both. Pick a focal point. Be still with it. It costs nothing, and it changes how every interaction in the room starts. Gestures. Men who don't fold their arms across their chest when they're listening, who don't touch their face when they're talking, they read as more present. Face touching specifically is a self-soothing behavior. It's something you do when your nervous system needs calming down. People see it and unconsciously register something is making him uncomfortable. They don't know what. They just know the signal is there. Hands visible and relatively still. Not posed, not performed, just not busy reassuring you that you're okay. That's the whole note on gestures. Walk speed. Moving fast in a social setting reads as chasing something or running from something. Slow down by about 20%, not dramatically, just enough that your pace is set from the inside, not by whatever pressure the environment is applying. Men who move at their own speed signal that they're not responding to external urgency. It's one of the more readable things in a room, and almost nobody thinks about it. Here's what it comes down to. Attraction gets triggered before conversation starts. Women decide within the first few seconds whether you're someone they're open to, not whether they like you, just whether the door is open. If the door closes before you get there, nothing you say changes that. You're not playing the same game as the man who walked in already broadcasting the right signal. There are men who are objectively less attractive, shorter, with nothing special to say, and they do well. There are objectively attractive men who can't get out of their own way. The difference is almost always in how they carry themselves before they speak, not in spite of the other factors, instead of them. You've been in a room with someone like that. You noticed them before they spoke. Everyone did, and nobody in that room could tell you exactly why. Now you can.